Okay, today I'm going to go through the wet application hinge method of applying a decal to a surface. I'm going to use glass, but it would work equally well on a painted metal surface or just about any other surface. Before we begin, we want to make sure we have our supplies. So I've got my decal, I've got a level for laying things out, a tape measure, a dry marker, some tape. I use painter's tape or any other temporary tape. I've got my application fluid, and application fluid is quite simply water in a spray bottle up to about here. Fill it to about there with rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, and then just a few drops, 4, 5, 6, something like that, of dish soap or baby shampoo. And then I've got a clean, dry, lint-free rag for cleanup. We start by cleaning our surface, and the manufacturers recommend isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol because it will not leave behind a residue. I've already laid out a horizontal line and a center mark for where I want to put my decal. If you're going to use reference lines, do not have the reference lines right where the decal goes. Keep them about 1/4 of an inch away, because if the line ends up under the decal, it's going to be ruined. You can't remove that line. So let's get started. I always leave a little tag of the transfer paper sticking above the decal. That allows me to put it in place. It'll stick. If I need to adjust it, I can simply peel it off, move it, and stick it again. I'm then going to use my tape right across the top, and I want to stay above my decal. That'll make the next steps easier. So now my decal is mounted, but I can still hinge it or lift it up. I want to make sure my application fluid is handy. I'm going to lift up the decal and carefully peel off the backing paper. Do not let the sticky part of the logo touch anything. If it touches anything at this point, it is going to stick and you will not get it off. I'm then going to lightly mist the surface, almost like I'm cleaning the glass. And I'll lightly mist the back of my decal. Now, as I drop it in place, I'm going to use what I call the Christmas tree method to smooth it out, going side to side and down at a slight angle, almost like the branches on a Christmas tree. And you'll see I'm getting some buildup of liquid. I'll just wipe that off as I go. Take your time squeegeeing it. You really can't overdo this. Once you get it in place, I can squeegee it in multiple directions. You may see some wrinkling appear in the transfer paper. That's okay. That is simply a result of soaking up the liquid. And I'll squeegee it in all sorts of directions. I want to get as much of that liquid out from behind the decal as I can. If this were a very intricate logo, lots of sharp detail, I would let this sit for at least 20 minutes. This logo happens to be a big square. It's got lots of sticky surface, so I can peel the transfer paper right away. I just grab a corner. I want to make sure I'm peeling back at a flat or a sharp angle, almost touching the surface of my logo. And I can peel in different directions and just keep going side to side until I get back up to the top. Take it off. And I want to carefully wipe the surface clean. You can't wash this window for at least 2 days by hand. If this were on a vehicle, I wanted to run it through a car wash, wait at least a week. If you're using a pressure washer, wait at least 4 weeks. The decal at this point can still come off fairly easily. You can see I can still peel that right away. But after it has warmed up and that application fluid has evaporated, it is going to be permanently stuck in place. So for the next couple days, we want to be a little careful with it. After that, it is good to go.